Finally, we have divergent plate boundaries. And remember, our divergent plate boundaries are when plates separate, okay? And so on the divergent plate boundaries, we have ocean and ocean crust. That's causes equals to our seafloor spreading. Remember, we talked about how the seafloor can spread and it will create a mid-ocean ridge, right? So when that seafloor, when the ocean and the ocean crust spreads away from each other, it will cause the seafloor to spread. And so that's when the magma comes up and the lava will come out. And so let's see a simulation of that. And so if we look here, we have our seafloor spreading and our continent. We have to also remember we can have continent and continent spreading. And when our continent and continent will spread, we also will have our magma come up and the lava will come out. So let's watch our simulation. So it begins to spread, it pulls away, and watch how our arrows separate from each other. A lot different from converging when they're colliding. And so as they begin to spread away from each other, we can see how the magma from the mantle comes up and out, okay? Because they're spreading from each other. We can also see it over here. Okay? And so remember, when the ocean and ocean spread, it causes seafloor spreading and we create a mid-ocean ridge. Continent and continent creates a rift valley. And so some of our examples are the East African Rift from Ethiopia to Kenya, caused by the divergent boundaries. We see it has the fault blocks and we have a rift zone. We have the North American plate separating from the Eurasian plate. Remember the man we saw yesterday in the video? He was standing in between the North American plate and the Eurasian plate. And we have our mid-Atlantic ridge that's created. And remember how we talked about Iceland? Because of that rift, Iceland came up from the sea. And right here we see another example. We see the Red Sea in between the divergent boundary plate, the divergent boundary. And here's our example where the magma's coming up from the mantle and it's coming out. The lava comes out, and as soon as it hits the sea, it begins to cool. Okay? So remember, we have our convergent, which is our spreading. Which is our colliding. We have our divergent, which is our spreading. Okay? And so those things create different types of landforms. And so we also have our simulation. Don't forget that after you do this, you need to go into your draw what you saw. Draw a picture of your divergent boundary, divergent spreading, convergent boundary, convergent colliding, bouncing, and use your arrows and labels. Take a picture of your diagram and send it directly to me. So let Miss Manley right quick show you a picture of convergent and divergent boundary. So that you have some examples. Divergent, convergent. We know that this is divergent, separating. We know that this is divergent, convergent. And on tomorrow, we will learn about transform. So make sure you guys go back over your notes. Don't forget to do your ed puzzles. And I will see you guys on tomorrow. Have an awesome day. Let's finish with a little music.